And the important thing about the rotation of the screen is that you move the artwork around. You don't move your body.
You don't, right.
Don't move your body. Now, when you're doing tattoos, you have to.
Yeah, you can't take their arm off.
But when you're drawing on something, move that around.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, move the drawing around.
Yeah.
Welcome to another episode of the BlueLines Project. My name is DTM, Delta Tango Mike. I am sitting here with the awesome, super awesome artist. I say awesome like 3 times, and let's say it again. Awesome artist, talented, the Maddpenciler. How you doing, brother?
Chilling, man. How you?
Ah, man, I am chilly.
Are you chilly?
I am chilly and chilling, like a villain.
I got a sweatshirt over there if you need one. Man.
All right.
I got you.
Is it 4X?
Yeah, it'll work.
It'll fit.
Yeah.
All right. So let's go ahead and get going to where we left off last episode, where the Maddpenciler got to a sketch, did a drawing with the blue pencil, and we got into the point where it's time to move into digital. And so we discussed different things that artists do when they go from traditional to digital. One step is to actually scan it in. Another step would be to take a picture with your phone, or in this case, the iPad. So go ahead and show us what you're going to do with this piece here.
It's kind of like you said, it's pretty basic. You just take a picture with
your big old iPad.
I like it too.
Yeah, I think it's huge.
It's nice. So yeah, you just kind of get up over the picture. I guess I should stand up and do it correctly here.
There we go.
And I'm just more focused on her. Like, I got stuff happening in the background that I've done, and I really don't need to pay attention to that.
Oh, like your lines and so on?
Yeah, because I'm going to have that reference right there anyway. So, and that's it. I mean, it's in there. Open up. I guess I can look at it to make sure I'm happy with
the drawing.
The way it looks.
I like it. Yeah. Neat. Neato. And we're going to go with Clip Studio Paint.
Clip Studio. I got something on here already that I've been working on. So one, I want to make sure I save that before I close it.
Before you close it.
Yeah. And so
you find Clip Studio Paint to be a good tool for you?
Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm getting ready to cut this because you clean your nose.
Oh, something hanging off of it?
Yeah, other side. I'm sorry, y'all. I didn't want to.
It's okay. Keep
have
rolling.
The camera.
Keep rolling.
Okay.
It's all right. We'll keep rolling.
You good?
Is it?
Yeah.
Sorry, y'all. Are we okay? We're okay. All right. Good. All right.
I guess you can edit that.
Roll it.
Okay. Cool.
So tell me about Clip Studio Paint. What is it about it that you like, or why you use it?
So, like we were discussing earlier, like, from what I understand, Adobe is supposed to have Photoshop for the iPad, but they don't yet. And they keep saying it's coming. It has never came yet, so
it's not coming.
I'm very comfortable with Photoshop. And, you know, even when I was using, what's the one you use here on?
I use Sketchable.
Sketchable was, I like it, but it just didn't have enough of the tools that I was comfortable with using. I tried another one. I don't know if so I got PaintStorm on here.
Yeah, I saw you use that before.
That wasn't kind of where I wanted it to be. Procreate is really good because it's a lightweight app, but it's a very powerful tool. So it doesn't have a lot of the little tools that I like, but you can still get away with doing some really awesome work with it. But Clip Studio is almost on par with Photoshop to me. Okay. And like I said, I'm comfortable with it. There's the tools that I need to use is on here. So, open it up. Let's name it Brown Sugar. I think I already have one called that, so I'll name it Brown Sugar 4.
So you open it up. Is you creating a new document?
I'm creating a new document. Renaming a file. I have it set to custom, and it knows that I like 11 by 17, kind of what
like the size
I drew
of paper.
here. Right. The resolution, I usually do 300. If I know the client is going to make this bigger than 11 by 17, I'll probably bump it up to 400. 300 is enough.
Yeah.
It's actually enough for a 24 by 36 poster. But I would just change the inches, so it'll be 24 by 36, 300.
Okay.
But again, I would probably bump it up to 400 just to be on the safe side.
Yeah.
Because it's not vector illustrator. So with that you can scale it as small or as big, and it's still crispy clean.
Right, when it's a vector artwork.
Right,
Yep.
right. So with that said, I just hit OK, and I got a new doc.
Okay, cool. You got a new document. And
so I'll go to File.
So let's move it off towards you a little bit so we can see better.
Okay, my bad.
Oh, that way. Let's go that way. There we go. Good job. Cool.
Import from Photo Library, and you'll see.
So now you're looking for the artwork.
Brown sugar is right here.
And bam.
And bam, there she is. So when it's first imported, it has these handles around there that you can just grab and rescale it. It's already automatically set to keep the proportionate restraint, so it's not like if I pull one, it's all cockeyed or whatever. So
okay, so when you grab the corner, it stays in proportion.
It stays in proportion, right?
Yeah,
and
transforms.
Because I have my reference here, I'm kind of just looking at to make sure that when I do stretch her to make her bigger, it's around the same. It doesn't have to be perfect. I might make her a little smaller, and that's it.
Cool. Then bam.
And so with the iPad, there's touch to it now, so I can kind of spin her around and do whatever I need to do with. And that's something I can't do on my Huey on the tablet at home, the monitor.
Okay.
But I have a keyboard and I know a lot of shortcuts, so you have that and you can turn it with the pen. But
that's the R.
Yeah,
the letter R.
rotate. But this is just like, and there'll be sometimes I won't even use the computer at home. Like this will be my go-to because it's so easy and user friendly. So now she's on her own layer. When I imported her, it created another layer for me.
Okay.
I'll go to that layer. I'll drop down the opacity to maybe like 50-ish, 40 something. I don't know. I'll double tap it and rename it. Let's just call this pencils. I'll hold it and rasterize that layer, meaning now I can do whatever I want to do with it. When it's imported, I think it's
a smart object.
Yeah, smart object, and it's locked, and you can't do whatever you need to. Just like Photoshop, it has a little icon. I'll create a new layer. Again, double tap that, call it inks. Done. And just with any drawing tool, it has its little brushes and pens and all that. And I'm not big on importing different brushes and changing all that. That's too much work for me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
just go with what's in it.
I go with what's in
there.
Yeah. Now in Photoshop, they do have Kyle. I can't remember his last name, but now it comes with Kyle Webster brushes. You know what I'm saying? Like at first you had to buy them or download them and then you import them, but Photoshop comes with it now. He done came up. So and that's it, man. I'll scribble on there to make sure I got like the
right brush,
stroke, color, the weight, and all that stuff. And so I need to change the color I'll go black. And if I don't know if you guys can see this, but if I draw, there's a delay happening. You see that?
Yeah. What's up with that?
It's the control. So if I'm like pulling a long line, I want it to stay clean. Versus if that brush and I pull it is right together, if I make a little jiggle or something, you'll see those shakes, unless I do it purposely.
So there's a delay so that because it's trying to fix your line so it doesn't look so.
Yeah. And then I just go in and start inking, man. Like literally tracing over what I just drew. There's no science to it. The harder I press, the thicker that line gets. The less pressure I put on it, the thinner it gets. Yeah.
Gotcha. Because of the so it gives you that the pressure sensitivity.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And so then also the lighter you press, not just thinner but also lighter the line may get.
I don't think the lighter.
Not for the inking.
No, yeah.
Maybe for the penciling.
Yeah.
I gotcha. All right. And so I like to tell artists that when they're doing line work to move the pencil towards them,
to pull it,
and to stay with the movement of your wrist, the natural movement. Mm-hmm. Don't try to overfight it.
Like trying moving around and all that,
kinds of weird stuff. And the important thing about the rotation of the screen is that you move the artwork around. You don't move your body.
You don't, right.
Don't move your body. Now, when you're doing tattoos, you have to.
Yeah, you can't take the arm off.
But when you're drawing on something, move that around.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, move the drawing around.
Yep. And that's why I like the iPad too. Like even if I couldn't move the picture, I could still move the iPad. And I'll do that quite often. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Especially if I'm just zoning out. Yeah. I'll just be like, oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
It just makes it easier for me to pull versus push a line.
Gotcha.
And yeah, this is where I kind of just I'll have on some music, man, and I'll just zone out. Because inking, although it's not a long process, it's a long process.
It is. It is a little tedious at times.
Right.
And so when you say music, that brings another aspect of it that we don't have here today. Is you play music. Is that something that how do you use that, and what kind of music do you like to play?
To me, music is art in general.
Okay.
So it just my mood, man. Like my playlist is is all over the place.
Okay.
So we got the finest gospel singers here in the building with us today. So if it's gospel, if it's country, a lot of hip hop because that's what I grew up on. But sorry, I keep moving this, but yeah, it doesn't matter.
So whatever catches your mood. Do you think of the music that you play? Do you think of the artwork that you're working on and find the music that kind of fits it so it keeps you in that same mood?
Sometimes, yeah. Like especially in the morning when I'm drawing, I'll have, like I said, my Spotify open and definitely whatever I'm listening to puts me in that mood to draw a certain thing. I don't know. I guess I'm weird, but
yep, you are weird.
I'm an artist, man.
What I like to do is if I'm drawing a children's book, I play Scarface.
Wow.
So that it gives me a good little balance. Now, but I do like playing happy music. If I'm drawing happy artwork, I gotta play happy music to keep me in that mood.
Okay.
And then I start getting lost in the artwork, and I smile to myself, getting that emotion, and to play with me. And if it's gonna be some serious artwork, then we want to have kind of serious music or something that's gonna actually whatever the mood is about. When it comes to the artwork, I like to play with that. But now sometimes you do have to have the things that keep you motivated in your ear while you're drawing with your hands. I know it's kind of tough talking about it while you're drawing when you usually most of the time you kind of just
by
off to yourself,
zoned out.
It's a new experience happening right now.
What I do a lot though when I'm in digital, like I'll zoom in and out a lot, just so I can see like that line weight, if it'll hold, if I'm like that far zoomed out from it. Because, you know, if I'm zoomed in and like really doing this detail work, I can't see everything else. So I'll zoom in and out a lot.
You got to step back from the work.
Yep.
Nice. Yeah, that's good. Whatever techniques allow you to see the drawing as a whole. But it is a tedious process where you sit there by yourself, usually, don't talk to nobody. You get lost in your thoughts, get lost in the drawing, get lost in the details.
Right.
And at the end of the day, you have something that that came out of your own mind, your own hands, and your own talent. I get it. And everybody's getting an inside look right now. Everybody's getting a chance to see how the Maddpenciler, which now we need to come up with another name because you're not penciling, you're inking. And it's digital.
Whoa. I'm talking about name change.
The Mad Apple Penciler? Because you got the Apple Pencil?
No. Until they start paying me.
Then you change your name.
Then I'll change it. Until then.
It's got to be in the contract.
Yeah, man.
I got you.
That's what you taught me.
That's right, getting paid. That is one of the things that I like. Oh, so what's happening?
What's happening is I got it auto save set up. Because sometimes I'll forget.
Okay.
Just a quick story. I was in school, and we have been working on our senior films, and you hear somebody in the back like, no, because all the computers crashed.
What?
Yeah. So they didn't crash. At a certain time, they all just reboot because they're pushing out updates from the server. Or from IT or wherever. And that person hadn't saved for about an hour.
No, wow.
Yeah. Just working away. And, you know, like you said, you start getting tunnel vision.
Yeah.
And you just start working and be like, yeah, I'm getting it. Boom, boom, boom. And you just, oh, fuck. And we was you all right? And, yeah, man.
Dang.
Hours worth of animation. And that's not just like.
Yeah. It wasn't a few steps. It was intense.
It was like walking and jumping around, and so I have it set up here where it auto saves. I think every 10 minutes is what I got it set on.
Okay.
And you could do that with all programs. People, you know what I'm saying? Like if you go to file preferences, somewhere in there it'll have like save options or something. And you can have it set up so you won't be that dude. Because that's not good. Especially if you like working for a client. You know what I'm saying? And you got like couple $1,000 projects you working on, like, bro, you gonna suspect that to a lightning strike, or are you gonna like have it saved? You always rather go back 10 minutes versus an hour, or just all of it's gone. So.
Yeah, it's always a good practice to get that muscle memory. Control S, Command S, or like the Maddpenciler says, to go ahead and set it up to where auto saves. I never done the auto save part. But I need to look into it because sometimes you do get lost into the program.
Like you said, you got your music going, and you know, you never know, man. Family come up, you got to talk to them for a quick minute.
Yep. All right, cool. So we'll be right back. The Maddpenciler, the BlueLines Project. We're gonna talk about that. What's the BlueLine Project mean? What is it? A project? Is it lines? Is it blue? We know it's blue. There's lines in there, but we'll talk more about that. All right. This is DTM. We'll see you in a second.
Peace. Oh, hey, I know you were standing there, but stay tuned for more BlueLines Project with the Maddpenciler. Peace.
Back with the Maddpenciler, Delta Tango Mike. We're working, and I'm actually just looking, but the Maddpenciler is working on the inking right now. Nice, careful line work. He is focused. He is not thinking. He is not talking. He is just looking at his screen, and little by little, slowly,
but surely.
That's right, getting your line work in. Do you find that the inking is a little bit stressful because you have to be careful with your lines, whereas at the penciling you're kind of going fast and just
a little bit. But again, if you do it enough, you know what I'm saying, you just start pulling them lines and it becomes second nature.
You just do it.
Yeah. And again, it's just like with that with tattooing. You know what I'm saying? Man, my lines were atrocious when I first started. But it just like that one day I just woke up and was just like, and you pull a straight line. And and it's the same here. I mean, fortunately for here, you get to, like I said, Control Z or undo, and then you can go back. Like, I don't like the way that looked, or it came over a little bit. But yeah, man,
nice.
It's a little stressful at times.
Is there a touch screen shortcut to undo in Clip Studio Paint on the iPad?
I think it's 2 fingers. Yeah,
2-finger tap.
2-finger tap and 3-finger for redo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's the same in Procreate too.
Nice.
I don't know about Sketchable, but I know
Sketchable
there was
3 fingers to the swipe to the left.
Yeah.
Yeah. You need that. You need to just quickly move back or forwards.
Yep.
Yeah, I like that. I hate looking for that undo arrow
icon or whatever.
Yeah, the icon and arrow. I'm looking at. I have the old Clip Studio on my Surface. It's the Manga Studio. I got the EX.
Yeah.
And I don't know where to go look for that auto save when switching page. Well, there's that. Always open with new tab. I need to find that on all my programs so that it can kind of auto save. I do like to feel confident when by doing the Control S or Command S or so that I know that I actually saved. Sketchable has an auto save function already. It'll start spinning. The cursor will start spinning in the middle of the screen, letting you know it's saving.
Kind of like this was doing when
a second ago. Yep. And so that's important because you want to feel confident that your work is saved. We've all been through that. I have been through that where I lost work.
More than you want to care to talk about, because that's crazy, man.
Yeah, software would crash. I used to have a cat. I have a grandson now. The cat will run across the keyboard. Grandson will start reaching and grabbing stuff that he's not supposed to grab, and you lose your work, and you're not happy about that. That is not a good experience. And so
it's kind of like a lame excuse to give to a client.
Oh, no, you can never say that. Yeah, you can never. No. We're not in grade school anymore.
Right.
Dog ate my homework. What are you? Are you a kid?
Yeah.
No, you're a professional, right? That's your job, to be a professional. That's that'll be a sports conversation one day when you get paid millions of dollars and then there's an excuse for why you couldn't do something. But yeah, now as a professional artist, it's your job to have the work.
Right. No matter what.
No matter what's going on, what happened. If that means you don't sleep that night because you have to take care of it, then that's what you have to do because you accepted money. And that's the position that you want to be in, where you're a professional and how you deal with the client and how you get the work done.
Right.
So, no, you can never use that as an excuse.
The dog ate my homework.
The dog ate my homework. However, what has happened to me, and that's recently, is that I've lost 2 different external drives crashed on me. Yeah, and
that's not good either.
Yeah, one of them I dropped by accident out of my hands, and it just slipped off my hands into the floor. And then and so there was a way to recover it if I wanted to, but I waited so long that I gave up on it.
Right.
And then the other one, I did reformat when I had 2 external drives plugged in at the same time, and I should have unplugged the one that I did not want to reformat, and so I reformatted the wrong one, and 1.5 terabytes
gone.
Yeah.
Woo.
Yeah, I already cried about that. I already cried.
Wow.
I already suffered my bout of depression, and for that.
And it was like not backed up on a cloud nowhere.
No. These are my old files that I move out my computer. Okay. Once the job is done, I move it off the cloud because I'm putting it away.
Right.
But I keep referring to some things that are in those drives.
Right.
For one reason or another.
For future references.
Yeah, I always have something in there mixed in. And yeah, so it was heartbreaking. And And then I went and bought 3 more external drives and started backing up things several times. And it's okay to have redundant files for those situations. But yeah, those are some of the issues that come up once you start working digitally and all your work is saved as a byte.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, megabyte, gigabyte, terabytes. They're all bytes. The ones and zeros.
That's it.
Yeah, you're in that world now, and so you have to have a some kind of archiving method, some kind of method of saving and keeping track of your work, so that you always have access to it for whatever reason. And a lot of artists who work traditionally, they have stacks of paper, stacks of sketchbooks, and that's cool.
Yeah, we all do.
Yeah, but then when you need to grab it and go, it's a lot of grabbing, a lot of
searching through all those sketchbooks, especially if you didn't archive them right.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You'll be there forever trying to find something that you drew and you might need it for something.
Right. So. Yep. And it's heavy. It gets heavy. If I'm getting on a plane and I want to read 20 comic books, that's a lot of paper to carry around.
True.
But I can have it on the iPad or the Surface and read it, and it's all the same weight. It's still all in the machine. So there's a lot of benefits to being digital, and it's just always going to be something that you have to figure out how you're going to structure this so that it's easy to work with.
Right. And
it becomes a tool that you use. We don't using these things just because they're cool to use. The iPad is cool to use. It's the Surface is the latest thing. That's not the reason why we use these tools. We use them because there's a purpose for it, and we have to find a way to make it work for us to do our work. So that's something that takes time to explore and figure out. And
that's it, man.
Yeah. How many external drives do you
own? 6, I think.
That's all? All right, that's good.
Yeah.
I pulled out some external drives that are old a few weeks ago because I needed some software. And since I do have some older computers that not going to take the Creative Cloud, and so I had to pull out some old external drives. And we're talking about ancient drives, huge. They were big.
Like the big
clunky
ones.
Yes, big box and stuff. So it was really great. So that's it. Keeping track. So let's go ahead and get closer this way. There we go, right there. It's good. Let's see what we got going on, so we can see. We can see the artwork. I want to see. I need to ink some of my work. I actually need to finish my sketch because I started to do it and then
then you just bailed.
And I forgot. Yep. So the BlueLines Project, there was a time, and when the idea first came, of course, blue lines, blue pencil, but the project in itself, what was on your mind, and what was the idea behind it?
Honestly, just to help other artists, what I'm saying, and it didn't have to be like visual arts. It could be like music, photography, whatever other art thing is happening, and it's just a place for people to share and be a part of a community, really. You know what I'm saying? So like, I don't know if it stuck the way it did, but I mean, people still post to it, and because I started it on Facebook.
Okay,
just
it was a Facebook group.
Yeah. And just at the current state that I'm in, I just don't have enough time to facilitate it like it should be. But yeah, that's all. It wasn't nothing like grandiose.
No. You just want to kind of bring different medias together.
Yeah, and share different type of resources. Like if you knew somebody in the music industry or something like that, you know what I'm saying? Be like, oh, check this out, or here's a lawyer that could help you with, signing or whatever that creative mind or creative people team needed. Like there was just some portal to go to, and I'm sure there's tons of them out there, you know what I'm saying, but this was probably just more for me and my close friends. You know what I'm saying? Nice. So yeah,
because that was also the title of your book, I think the BlueLines Project, was that the hands? No, it was not the hands.
No,
The little ebook.
Yeah, that's just typically how.
What's it called? What's that book called?
How to draw hands.
How to draw hands.
That's it. Yeah, nothing special.
No fancy.
Because that's all it is. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Like you want to learn how to draw hands and feet and get in and get out.
Yeah.
Period. No
Right.
lingering around, no wondering why it's this or that. But
Okay.
yeah, man.
All right. Well, today we're using the BlueLines Project as a title for the series, and especially because that is the starting point for your drawings, the blue
Blue
lead, the pencils, and so on.
Right.
So that's good. We're gonna expand on that idea, just like we're gonna expand on brown sugar, and get some details together, locked in, so that we have something to follow. We want to make sure people follow something. They follow your path, even if it's a path where you show a lot of the development on what it can be and will be. I think that's a good idea. I don't know. I like it.
I like it too.
I like it too. Let's do it. Yeah, man. Yeah. Let's do it. Blue lines.
This guy.
Nice. So now we're doing the eyes. You got some eyeshadow going on.
Yeah, I usually start with the eye and the face.
Uh-huh.
I'm not sure why I didn't this time, but I don't know.
Because the shoulder was real easy to get to, right down the left. So you find something to set the tone.
Yeah, and I before I started, I wanted to make sure I was comfortable with it. That's probably why I didn't do it. Even looking at like the picture, I just still always want to make sure the objects that I'm drawing and stuff are like one, proportionate to what they're supposed to be, but also communicate, especially the face. You know what I'm saying? Like what's happening? Like should she be smiling or should she not be smiling? Like, and if she's not, is her not so much a frown, but is her features saying what's happening? You know what I'm saying?
Right,
so,
right. The look, are you seeing an emotion in there? I see. Gotcha. Yeah, you want to set the tone for the kind of attitude. I like it. All right, that's good. And so you find different parts that will support that emotion and that style. Right. And then work little by little. I gotcha.
And then again, you know, like we had been saying for the past hour or so, you know, digital, we can erase very easily if we're not, you know, satisfied with what we got. So, if I don't like her face, you know, I could go all the way to finish colors, and if I look back and like her face still is not meshed with me for whatever reason, it's on a separate layer, and I can just go back and erase it or create a new layer and then go over that one and have two layers to kind of go flip-flop back and forth with. So, yeah, digital definitely has its advantages.
Right. Okay, gotcha. And yeah, that I do sometimes. What I like to do with my layers and drawing digitally is I'll draw different parts of the drawing on a different layer. So maybe the face on one layer, the shoulders on a different layer, the hands on a different layer, so that I can always move pieces around in case I don't like how the proportions is or the angle of something. And then it's real easy to just turn off the layer and start a new layer with the drawing instead of trying to erase and get kind of precise with where you erase stuff. Yeah, I see that. That makes sense. That's cool. I'm gonna finish on my pencil drawing while you finish on yours, and we're gonna come right back for the rest of this drawing and finishing off where we are, because there's a whole lot of inking that needs to happen still at this point. You're gonna show us whether or not you're going to ink the shoulder blades or use it. You're gonna do the color, the color itself.
Yep.
Okay, we're gonna talk about that. See that how it develops to finish off today's episode. Delta Tango Mike, Maddpenciler. See you back in a second.
Yeah.
This is DTM. Stay tuned for more of the BlueLines Project. We'll be right back. So we're back. We're going to show you a little bit about the end of this inking process. And before we move into any coloring, we got the Maddpenciler over here over the iPad Pro, Clip Studio Paint. Clip Studio Paint, check this out. We're doing amazing things with your software. Apple, check it out. We're doing amazing things with your software or hardware. So go ahead and let's make a deal.
Let's do it.
In the meantime, we're getting to the last few details here. And you were mentioning that when it comes down to some of the details in the body, you're going to use colors. Mm-hmm. Is there a particular reason why you're not going to do lines?
For the most part, I mean, and this is me, like it could be anybody's style, and I think that's what it comes down to, is just my style. Like I don't want to have like hard lines on here unless it's color lines. So like it's called cutting, and we'll get into that when I start doing some colors, but
okay.
I may draw with a Sharpie type marker or something like that if I just want that hard line or something like that, but for the most part I just want some blends, you know what I'm saying? And you know, if you look at the reference we used this from, there wasn't no lines in her back, you know what I'm saying? It was just light midtones and shadows. So that's
so you
want to
get that
style.
Effect in there too.
Yeah. Yep. So I won't do any like hard lines here. Like I'll probably go back in and do some more just cut hard lines and inking on her pants and on her shirt.
And then
other than that,
and I think that when you use that technique, it also gives you different textures to show that these are different fabrics. So there's skin, fabric, hair, and so on. So it gives you a more variation in texture. I do like that what you're doing and why you're doing it, because you have that comic book style in there, but then you have a more realistic kind of coloring and painting in. Kind of reminds me of that storm you did. You did a storm drawing on Procreate. It is I want to say a storm because she has a bald head and a mohawk. Yeah, I don't know if it was that storm.
I don't know, man.
You don't know?
Probably been so long.
And then you did like the little sketch of the neck bones.
Oh yeah, that's yeah.
It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
But I liked how there's some shadow, some gradients, some hard edges, and all of that works together to give you the sense of volume and in shape, and just by using values. And I like that. It's kind of, so you still have the hard lines and the edges of comic book style, but then you have the coloring that kind of brings it out and takes it somewhere else. So that's really cool, really nice, awesome. I love it. So we're gonna see the final inking edges, and as we're working on that, I'm gonna mention that you want to check out the Maddpenciler on Instagram. You want to check out some of his work and his pieces, because every day you wake up at 4 a.m. I want to say that you wake up at 4 a.m.
Somewhere around there.
Somewhere around that time, and you practice your drawing. And really, to you, it's not necessarily practice, but you've been doing it so long, it's like practice. It's like the practice never stops.
It's like working out. You know what I'm saying? You wake up and
that's your gym.
That's my gym. Yeah, that's the dojo.
You gotta get some kind of blue pencil drawing in to start your day off.
Start my day, man.
Yeah,
and if not, I feel like I'm missing something. You know what I'm saying?
I think that's a good way to look at it, because it sets the tone for the kind of day you're gonna have and what your day is about. That's good. Some people read a scripture.
Right.
Yeah. Some people do actually work out, go sweat, and stuff.
And it sets their tone.
It sets the tone for the day. Yeah. And if you're saying that as an artist, this is what you want your life to be about, then you need to start your day with that mindset that this is what your life is really about.
Right.
Even if you have to clock in at a job somewhere, even if you have other responsibilities that take up the majority of your time, you want to be reminded and be in that practice of drawing, because the day that money flows in for artwork, for a project, you want to already have that practice and get used to sitting down and working on artwork.
That routine, the regiment, all of that.
That routine, yeah. So you want to check out the Maddpenciler on Instagram. We have I want to say but he has a lot of tattoo drawings, also tattoos that he's been working on. I see the line work. I see some of that shading we were talking about before, and that you're using the shader to get some of the details in there. That's really awesome, man. It's really good. I like your process. And it looks like every time you post some artwork that it you do get people coming in to get that. I see these daggers and roses. That's pretty cool right there. Man. I like that. Really nice. And then somebody came in and got one of those roses and daggers. That's really yeah. So you see it in the beginning when it's on paper, and then you see it on scan when it's final and done. And what I don't see is that Hulk in color, because on Instagram you have the line work though. That Hulk is insane.
Yeah, I posted the color one on Facebook.
Yeah.
And color is just another beast. You know what I'm saying? That was a lot of blood, sweat, and tears.
Yeah, because you got to sit there and push it into the skin, don't you? Man, that's tough work.
Yep.
When it comes to coloring,
especially black skin is different than white skin, so you got to take that into consideration. You got to take that. What I'm learning is that the pigment of skin mixes with the color. And you have to think about that. Like, lighter skin obviously will show the colors of what the bottle looks like, versus darker skin is being mixed with green or whatever. So it's a learning, definitely a learning curve.
Yes, you got to take the skin into consideration. Yes. That's all, the skin tone of the person. Yep. I'm looking at this Hulk now, so if you go to the Facebook and look for Wayman Humphrey, he has a Facebook page also called it's the Maddpenciler, and I think Maddpenciler is one word. But if you're looking at on the Wayman Humphrey page, there is a Hulk. And how many sessions of green do we have in here right now?
Probably 3 of 5-hour sessions.
What?
Yeah.
Just trying to get that green.
15 hours of just the color itself. The line work, it went pretty fast. So it's probably like a 3 or 4 hour set. Like that was the first one. When they come back in, you kind of hit a few things up here and there that may have fallen out at one point or whatever. But yeah, man, that Hulk there's some hours on that thing there. Yeah, I like the teeth too. How defined the teeth are, and I guess later we'll get the mouth, the red in the mouth. Yeah, he actually got a green tongue. I looked it up, and the Hulk has a green tongue.
What?
Yeah. I don't know if I'm gonna do a green tongue though.
Yeah, I guess so.
But the actual that Hulk is referenced from some well-known comic artist, but the guy he was like dead on that piece, so I added my own fingers and the ripping of the skin, but
it's coming out. See, now if I was wearing that tattoo, I want to work out all the time, so it looks like it's like the Hulk is inside of me, like it's actually the muscles are bulging out and coming out of it through the skin. Yeah.
Hey, you supposed to come and get a tattoo, right?
Oh, yeah.
We're on camera now.
Oh, that's it, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to go ahead and do it. Yeah. We'll live stream it, too. Why not?
Yeah. We can do that.
I got ideas. I keep forgetting what I want. I know that I have ideas of what I want. And I say, okay, I'm going to talk to Wayman about it, or I'm going to talk to somebody about it, and then I forget. Yeah.
I ain't going to let you forget.
Yeah, because I got very limited skin left.
Yeah.
Yep. Getting close.
Your back is fully covered?
My back is full.
Yeah.
I don't have anything on my ribs or my chest, so I'm saving that. I don't know for what, one day. But my legs, my thighs have tattoos. My legs, the bottom part has tattoos already. Yeah, so I'm kind of getting
limited. Your face.
My face, yeah. You have to talk to the wife about that one. She has to give me the permission on that. But yeah, I think I got some room left. The chest, I do have ideas for the chest too, but we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I don't need that much space, man.
No,
just so I could.
Find a skull. Maybe we need to do a skull. Like, what does it do like to do? Skulls?
Let's do a skull, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like drawing a skull now just because we said it. Skulls are my favorite. And, yeah, that could be cool. I'm down to doing a skull in your style. Mm-hmm. You draw it up. The last tattoo I did the drawing, and then a friend of mine who did the tattoo, he redid the drawing in his style.
Got you.
Yeah, I wanted his style, his hand to be the one to do it, so that so it has a different look than what I normally draw. So that's not a bad idea. Yeah. Just gotta find a spot for it now. Let's find a spot. Maybe we do a skull on my chest like the Punisher. Just the outline. Maybe some outline. Oh, that's good. I like that.
I don't think you'll sit that long for that.
Bro, yeah, I know. It's been a while since I had a tattoo.
It has been a while. I mean, I know you the OG, but
yeah, I'm not scared though.
You sucker.
I'm not scared. When was the last time you got a tattoo?
Probably about 3 weeks ago.
Oh yeah, you got something else worked on? What is it?
That's on my legs. I got Stormtrooper on one side, and then the apprentice at the shop. She needed some skin, so I gave her a little spot.
And what'd you put on there?
A bat.
Okay.
Like a little. Look, it's like, see, her style is like traditional, but she mixed it with cutesy or whatever. So I gave her some skin, man. Okay.
Then you gonna put Hello Kitty next to that?
Probably.
Yeah. Why not?
Yeah.
Little unicorn and
stars and rainbows.
Fairy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's magical.
It's very magical. I like it.
Yeah. Why not? That's right.
Yeah. But I think I'm gonna get a Boba Fett on my other hand here soon.
Another Boba Fett?
Of course, man.
Jesus.
What?
How many Star Wars?
Hey, man.
Well, Star Wars is one thing, but Boba Fett, like, you already have 3 of them, right?
1, 2, 4.
4 Boba Fetts?
Yeah. He's a badass, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, come on.
You're going to have to draw him as a kid. You're going to do the kid version after a while, and then the old version.
No, I don't like him as a kid.
No?
Yeah, I want to have his memory as when he captured Solo. That's the...
He didn't catch his Solo. He was given... Solo was handed to him.
I know.
Okay.
I know. But that's what I like to think.
We're not going to get into the details of that. All right, that's cool, man. All right, another Boba Fett.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yep.
Make it happen. And then we're going to shave your head again to do some head tattoos.
Nah.
Because you can always grow out your hair.
I know, but I don't know about the sculpt, the scalp. That's,
Yeah, I did a couple of those on the head, and it didn't look like it hurt. The back of the neck did hurt a little bit because it went from the middle of the head towards the back and into the neck and then the actual shoulders.
Right. Nah.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Okay, cool. Well, I want people to go ahead and check out your Instagram, check out the Facebook and see his work, the Maddpenciler's work, and some picture of you here that you won a prize in high school or middle school. It looked the same. You can keep drawing what you tell us.
I am. I'm
getting
ready to tell you. So that was me. I created the school logo. Yeah.
Right.
It was like 2,000-3,000 people. The article says it, something like that. And they chose mine for the high school.
Out of 3,000 people who submitted, or really?
Yeah.
There was that many submissions for it.
Yeah. Well, we went to a big ass school, so it was like 3 schools that was merging into one school. So instead of like double A or something, we became quad A overnight. So it was a huge school, man. Yeah. Graduation took forever.
Yeah, I believe it. Man, forget that. That's a lot sitting around.
A lot of
name calling.
Yeah. Yep.
Name calling. Okay, and so then, so they did a contest for the mascot, who would come up with a mascot, and then you were one of 3,000 submissions,
and then I won. Yeah. Yep. We got the little write up. My mom is still pissed off to this day. Like I should get some money or something. Like
Are they still using it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Is a different version of the same
It's
thing?
a little different right now, but I think they just changed it within like the past 2-3 years. Or
I
so.
see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Cool. Well, that's some
man.
fun stuff,
Yeah,
man.
bro. Been drawn forever.
That's it.
Forever.
That's right.
Forever.
So go ahead, check him out, the Maddpenciler, Instagram or Twitter. I am Delta Tango Mike, and you've been watching the BlueLines Project. All right, thank you for hanging out with us today. We're slowly working. When I say we, I mean actually the Maddpenciler.
Yeah.
But I'm hanging out here with the Maddpenciler. So we've been slowly working on this digital drawing. It started off as traditional. Check out some of the prior episodes to see how it all began. And stay tuned for more because we're going to see this drawing all the way to the end. See y'all next time. See you next week. Peace out.
Peace. Is there going to be some takeout music? That would be dope, right?